Sawadee Khap, I'm JP Mestanza. Welcome to Phuket Xtra, brought to you by PVCPhuket.com. The anti-government protests in Bangkok have continued over the weekend and now enters day 6 as demonstrators have slightly shifted their methods of communication while authorities continue their attempts to stifle the rallies any way they can. These protests are largely led by the youth of Thailand, and social media has allowed demonstrators to coordinate and organize without a formal leader, as almost all of the original protest leaders have already been arrested since last week. As authorities continue to threaten those who organize through these platforms, especially Twitter and Facebook, it hasn't really put a dent on their ability to organize. For example, when police tried to block protesters from accessing Ratcha Prasong intersection on Friday, even ordering the BTS and MRT to suspend service, protesters put the call out on social media, and within hours, everyone gathered just blocks away at Pathumwan intersection. Similar situations took place over this past weekend, with protesters coordinating online to meet up on Saturday at all of the BTS SkyTrain and MRT metro stations throughout Bangkok to keep police guessing. And it culminated in an estimated 8,000 protesters at La Prao, 6,000 in Bang Na, and about 1,000 at Rakhamhaeng University. Then on Sunday, rallies took place at Victory Monument and Asok intersection in Bangkok, with tens of thousands joining those protests. It's not just Bangkok either, as rallies took place yesterday at 18 other locations nationwide, including Pathum Thani, Nakhon Ratchasima, Suratani, Pitsanulok, Konkan, Chiang Mai, where about 1,000 students attended, and even here in Phuket, where about 700 people gathered at Suan Luang in Phuket town on Sunday. The Phuket protest began at 4 p.m. and lasted 2.5 hours, with speeches focused on democratic rights and freedoms of the state of the economy, with no violent incidents taking place. In their attempts to squash the protests, police have ordered the NBTC, the telecommunications regulator for Thailand, to suspend 4 news outlets, including Voice TV, Pracha Thai, The Standard, and The Reporters, all of them Thai language, some of which have been reporting live from the protest sites. English language live broadcasts are still going on with Khaosod English and Bangkok Post. You can see those on Facebook Watch. Police have also suspended the main student activist page on Facebook, the Free Youth page, which has over 1 million likes, in an attempt to hurt protesters' ability to coordinate and communicate with police claiming that this Facebook page, along with the 4 news outlets, all violate the new state of emergency for, quote, presenting misleading information affecting the national stability. Twitter is still teeming with photos, videos, and posts from people all over the protest sites. Despite the suspension of the Free Youth Facebook page, demonstrators from that group are now urging everyone to use the encrypted chat app Telegram instead to communicate and coordinate, sending instructions on how to use and enhance their privacy settings. The Thai government is already trying to block Telegram, according to a leaked document today. Throughout the protests, demonstrators have shown how well coordinated they can be by keeping small areas specifically for like umbrellas and other equipment that would shield them from the rain, as well as the water cannons that were used on Friday by authorities to push demonstrators out of the Pathumwan area. Also at the protest sites, demonstrators have megaphones. But what's interesting is that since there's so many people at these protest sites, they coordinate and instruct each other on what's happening by chanting instructions whenever there's danger or when authorities are approaching, or anything else. Today, demonstrators plan to head to sites in northern Bangkok, including Khasit Star intersection and Klong Pren prison area, but this could change as the day goes on. Now let's bring you up to speed on the last few days. The anti-government rallies have been going on since July, but the ongoing protests have really started last Wednesday at Democracy Monument, where about 20,000 protesters showed up to march at the government house. And they tried to stay overnight, but authorities declared a severe state of emergency overnight, and they arrested most of the protest leaders. It continued on Thursday at Ratcha Prasong intersection, then again on Friday at Pathumwan intersection, where police pushed off demonstrators with water cannons. Then again on Saturday, and then again on Sunday. No water cannons those days, with more demonstrations expected today. Meanwhile, newly appointed Defense Forces Chief General Chalepo Srisawadi insisted that the military would not get involved in politics and a military coup was, quote, not on their minds. Thailand's parliament is currently in recess and set to reconvene on November 1st, but the growing protests have prompted the Speaker of Thailand's House of Representatives, Chuan Likpai, to see if they can meet before then in a special parliamentary session. Both the coalition government and the opposition parties have all agreed to discuss on Friday the possibility of holding a special parliamentary session in the wake of the growing protests for a new constitution, resignation of the premier, and reform of the monarchy, a contentious subject in Thailand. So far, 3 coalition parties, the ruling Palang Pracharat, the Democrats, and the Boomjai Thai Party, they all voiced their support for amendments of the current constitution as a means to resolve the political conflict, not a new charter outright. But they say no touching of the sections that deal with the monarchy. For more, visit thephuket.news.com. The Vegetarian Festival is now in full swing with processions taking place in the morning and COVID-19 measures in place, which means face masks. Friday saw the kickoff of the annual festivities with the raising of the Goteng poles at all the shrines across the island. A parade to mark the occasion took place on Sunday with an estimated 1,500 people joining the event, led by the Phuket governor, the Phuket city mayor, and even the House Speaker himself, Chuan Likpai. This year's festival will go on until October 25th, next Sunday, and tomorrow's street processions include shrines in Samkong, Surin Beach, and Church Delay. For the full schedule, visit thephuket.news.com. A Chinese national is now in police custody in connection with the alleged torture of stray cats on Phi Phi Island. 30-year-old Shi Hang was arrested at his hotel on Phi Phi on Friday after a complaint was filed by Watchdog Thailand, a non-profit animal welfare group. The complaint told about a cleaner at the same hotel finding bloodstains, cat fur, and live cats inside the refrigerator in the hotel room. Police later searched the man's phone after the arrest and found photos and video clips of the man torturing cats. He's now facing charges. 5 new COVID-19 cases in Thailand today, 4 of them Thais who recently returned from abroad, and 1 Kenyan national who arrived from Ethiopia last Friday. All of them were found infected while in quarantine. The new total number of infections is now 3,691, with 95% of patients recovered, and the death toll unchanged at 59. And that's it for Phuket Extra today, brought to you by pvcphuket.com. For safe, secure, and soundproof windows, visit pvcphuket.com. Thanks for joining us today. We'll be back tomorrow. Until then, stay classy, Phuket.